Hello, this is John Paval. I'm here today on Thursday, 5 o'clock European time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, 8 in the morning on the West Coast, with a Thursday update because we have so much going on to tell you about, and I want to give you in-person live reminders about what they all are. But first, before I say anything else, I have a question. Why would you not follow or subscribe to Access Arts Live when on an ordinary Thursday, we're giving you live links to opera from Italy, brass ensembles from Siberia, new Baroque music in New York City, and 3 symphonies in Europe with top soloists playing both classics and new compositions for you to discover? Of course, you should follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube or on our other platforms because there's so much going on. And how are you going to tell the players without a program? This is gold nuggets spread out across the internet landscape, and we have the treasure map to get you there. So let me tell you a little bit about everything that's going on today. I'm not going to spend a long time on them because we covered most of them already in our weekly roundups. And the first one that you've already missed, let me get that list out. The first one was out in Siberia. The Tomsk Philharmonic brass ensembles were playing all kinds of music for wind instruments. Bach, Mozart, Telemann, Mussorgsky, Piazzolla, Stamm, Kovacs, Hictic. And it all has to do with, their program notes all have to do with someone discovering from thousands of years ago, I mean like thousands and thousands of years ago, a pipe that was made in prehistoric times. And so apparently man has a need for music and wind instruments. Anyway, so that was at 7 o'clock in the evening in Siberia, which was 1 o'clock in Europe, 7 in the morning on the East Coast, and 4 in the morning on the West Coast. So that was one. I could understand that if you would miss it. Now, next up, will be at 6 o'clock, about 1 hour from now. What's the next one up? Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me fix my notes because we had them wrong. Okay. The next one up is Ryan Bancroft from the Stockholm Royal Philharmonic. He is in Finland today conducting the Tapiola Sinfonietta, which is in a town which is sort of like a suburb or a neighboring town to Helsinki, which is the big metropolis in Finland. He's there with Katherine Dain, the soprano. And he'll be directing Robert Schumann's an overture, scherzo, and finale in E major by Schumann, and then they will do Schumann's Symphony No. 1 in B flat major, the Spring Symphony, which Schubert said, I composed the work inspired by spring, a spring that comes to us as adults always as new and surprising. But the real interesting piece here is Katherine Dain, who's a terrific soprano, and she's done a lot of recording and interesting projects with collaborating with other artists. She'll be singing Kaija Suohari's For Instants, the instance of love, meaning longing, attente in French, the pain of waiting, douleur, sense, the parfum de l'instant, and memories, résonance, as the French would say, because Kaija Suohari was a Finnish composer who lived most of her active working life in Paris, France, as I have done. Anyway, and Katherine Dain, she went to Harvard, Guildhall School of Music, Mannes College of Music. She lives in the Netherlands now, and she's a former artist in residence with the Tapiola Sinfonietta. So these people are going to be working like this, and that'll be a great concert. But that's not where I'm going. Because, let me remind you, the time for that is 6 o'clock European time, noon on the East Coast, and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. And you get it free of charge on their YouTube channel. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going to see because I'm in Stockholm, I'm going to see the Royal Stockholm Phil tonight. And they have a great concert, which I'll tell you a little bit more about that. What I will tell you now is They're doing Stenhammar's second symphony, and Mats Larsson Gothe's cello concerto, and they will also be doing Elfrida André's overture to a concert. And I will tell you more about those things probably on the steps of the concert hall, because I plan on doing a live stream at 6:40 European time before the concert. And then I will do another one during the intermission at 7:35 European time, and then another one after the concert at 8:55. Why am I doing live streams before, during, in the middle of, and after the concert? To provide you with more of the feel of what it's like to actually be at that concert. And I wish that that those who are doing concert live streaming did more things like that, to really take you through, have you in the lobby while it's going on, have you in the lobby during the intermission, and mingling with the guest afterwards and getting their feedback, which you will get today from Access Arts Live. But to watch it, you can watch it on the Royal Stockholm Philharmonic's own website. We'll give you the link to that. That's at 7 o'clock European time, 1 in the afternoon on the East Coast, and 10 in the morning on the West Coast. That's not all, okay? Because, if that doesn't suit you, that's at 7 o'clock. Then at 7:15 in the evening, European time, 1:15 in the afternoon in New York, where the event is happening, 10:15 in the morning on the West Coast, Midtown Concerts, this weekly Thursday, excellent early music concert series put on by the Gotham early music scene in New York. They are bringing in a group called Nuova Pratica, and the concert's called Back in Style. Why do they call it Back in Style? Because they compose they're Baroque music experts, but they also compose their own Baroque music now to bring Baroque back in style. So, and that too, that's free of charge. We'll give you the link to that. So, if you're not satisfied with the Sinfonietta, Tapiola Sinfonietta, or the Royal Stockholm Phil, then you have this modern Baroque music, which vindicates my thinking that very often people that are interested in contemporary composition are also interested in early music. They want to bookend both sides of the classic corpus. However, if that doesn't satisfy you, there's more. At 8 o'clock in the evening European time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 o'clock on the West Coast, opera is live streaming free of charge a new production of Puccini's La Bohème in Italy, where they know how to do opera, at the Teatro Regio di Parma, the Royal Theatre of Parma, Italy. And this is being put together by a group which won a competition for under 35 years old creative teams to pitch on what they wanted to do in terms of producing an opera. They won the competition and they put it on. And the key thing there is that in this La Bohème, the guy playing Rodolfo is Attala Ayhan, and Attala Ayhan cut his teeth, made his mark in the opera world as an internationally known tenor, singing the role of Rodolfo. So it's in the bag with him singing that. However, if that's not enough, or if you're busy while that's going on, although that's a 3-hour live stream, and I've done a separate clip about that, which you can look up on all of our platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Threads, and on LinkedIn. If you want more information about the different performers besides Ayala Atan, and you want to know more about him too. So that's out there too. But there's even more, because a half an hour after that starts at 8:30 European time, 2:30 on the East Coast, 11:30 in the morning on the West Coast, a top European conductor. He's Colombian, but he's hot in Europe. It's Andres Orozco Estrada, the principal conductor of the RAI Orchestra down there in Torino. He's going, and he's also going to be starting next year the general music director of the city of Cologne, which may have something to do with the fact that Christian Macellaro is leaving the Köln Philharmonic next year to go to Cincinnati. Anyway, but he's hot, and he's got this Colombian temperament, and he's bringing in the violinist Maria Dueñas, to play. And Maria Dueñas, they'll be doing, because they'll be doing a Spanish symphony by Lalo, the Sinfonía Española in D minor, which is for violin and orchestra. So it's a symphony, but it also includes a violin and orchestra. And incidentally, the same thing is going on earlier in the evening with the Tapiola Sinfonietta. No, not the Tapiola Sinfonietta. Which orchestra is it? I can't find it now. No, I can't find it, and it might not be tonight. It might be another night. There's so much going on, folks. I can hardly keep track of it. Anyway, so they're doing that unusual symphony for violin and orchestra by Lalo, and then they'll do Mendelssohn's Symphony No. 3 in A minor, Opus 56, the Scottish Symphony. And Maria Dueñas, you can see her in the photograph there. I picked she's like shouting as she's playing the violin there. She's very young, and she's very, enthusiastic and just filled with energy, with all the energy of youth. She is, you could call her a blazing young violinist. That's what she is. So to have her, and her background is also Spanish. So to have her and Orozco cooking in the same concert, I just think it's going to be terrific. So there you have it tonight. Just one terrific concert after another. And honestly, I don't know how you would choose. I know how I'm choosing because I happen to be in Stockholm. So I'm going to be leaving for the Royal Stockholm Phil in just a while. But for you, it's choices between Tapiola Sinfonietta at 6 o'clock European time, with that vibrant soprano Katherine Dain singing songs by Kaija Suohari about love, and she lived in Paris, the city of love, and wrote about it. That's just marvelous, and then there's the Royal Stockholm Phil playing a very Swedish set of works. If you want real Swedish music from the Stockholm Phil, that's it. Then there's Midtown Concerts playing, how often do you get to hear contemporary music, which is Baroque? Some people would say you can't even call it that, but they do. Or if not, now you've got opera streaming giving you La Bohème, which is a great opera. And if not that, then it's Orozco Estrada and Maria Dueñas, two Hispanics cooking, while they play a symphony for violin and orchestra. So I think it's a great day of live streaming, and it's another reason why I'm telling you, what you want to do is subscribe to Access Arts Live on Facebook and YouTube, especially, to make sure you get all of our notices like this, and you notice all of our live streams like this, because this is going on every day of the week now. We've reached the point where some weeks we have 45 or 50 live streams going on, and those are just the ones that we tell you about. There's more going on out there that I can't fit in, that's going on with smaller local groups, and if I'm curating, I can't include all of it, or that's going on in connection with universities and educational institutions. And then there's more going on that I just don't find yet, even with all the digging that we're doing on a weekly basis to find as much of this as we can for you. So I would remind you once again, as I'm closing this live stream, if you're watching this on Facebook, please click like the video button. If you're watching on YouTube, please click subscribe. And if you're watching on any of our other platforms, we're happy that so many of you like our videos, but we'll be even happier if you actually follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on our other platforms, which are X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn. Listen, have a great evening or afternoon, whatever choices you make today. But I do hope that you will take advantage of some of these moments of truth and beauty being created for you in the moment and shared with you and the in-person audiences live. Ciao for now. I'll be back in about an hour and a half from the steps of the Royal Stockholm Phil Concert Hall.